Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Steve.
I'm Mark.
And this is SmokeySteveAndMarc.
Yes, it is.
Welcome or welcome back.
Yes, and happy Friday.
Happy TGIF indeed. Indeed.
Yes, I'm happy it's Friday.
Indeed. I'm going to stamp this week out like a stale cigarette. Just over it. Done. Glad to be here with you. Glad to be here with you. Glad it's Friday.
Yes, I am too. It was a rough week on many accounts.
It was a harrowing week. Very harrowing week.
For you, a little bit for me. For me at work, for sure.
Yeah, I don't envy your position there.
No, it's been a challenge recently this week. There's a lot of changes happening at work, and it's been rough to keep up with. And schooling as well. My training is
coming to a close.
It's coming to a close, and it's a little more intense, you know. And like today, I spent 2.5 hours just on homework, you know, and I feel like the last assignment that I was doing, I feel like, oh gosh, I hope I didn't rush it or didn't, you know, like, because after that long, I'm like, you know.
Oh, wow.
But, I mean, gosh, this time in 2 weeks, it'll be done.
It'll be done. Didn't it go quick?
It did.
In hindsight always makes it seem like it went really quick.
Yeah, in hindsight, you're right. But it feels like, you know, this was supposed to happen a year ago. Mm-hmm. More than a year ago, before COVID.
Like a year and a half ago.
And then it was all postponed and this and that and this and that, and it just seemed forever, and like it was not going to happen. And then I got accepted into the training, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, 11 weeks. Like, you know, that's forever, you know. But yeah, no, it went fast.
11 weeks would have went by anyway.
Yep.
At least at the end of this 11 weeks.
I have something to show for
more
it.
Initials after your name.
Yes.
Professional development is what that's called.
Yeah, it is.
Professional development.
I can use that word in one of my assignments. Yeah. I was trying to think of that, like when you learn something new or where you do something to kind of like better yourself in your your field or your interest. Professional development.
Yeah, you're more marketable now because you have extra credentials in the field.
Yeah, and you know, I like that.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So if more drama happens at work, you know, we could always
say bye. You know, it takes a lot for me to leave a job, you know. I don't think I've ever really up and quit on a job. I've given notice and left on good terms.
I've given very short notice and left for rehab.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever quit. No, I quit a dishwashing job when I was 14. Mm-hmm. Because the place I was working store is a front for fencing stolen property.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not good.
So I think Mom called, actually, or Dad, and said he's not coming to work anymore. But I had a job at 14. I was very ambitious.
Yeah, that's...
It paid $3.50 an hour.
$3.50
to wash dishes. $3.50 an hour. Wow. Under the table, because I was 2 years too young to work. But I wanted my own money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on my Social Security statement. It doesn't contribute work credits towards my retirement.
Right.
It's not there. Not till I was 16, and I was working at the restaurant that you worked at for a number of years later.
Yeah, yeah.
So
many years later, yeah.
Many.
Really cool. Well, we have a fun episode tonight. We thought we would discuss
gratitude.
Yes, gratitude, which is always a fantastic subject and very on point.
Yes, very on point for today.
And
the week yeah.
Yeah.
But especially today.
Yeah. And then we have our update. Oh, yeah, for our container potato project. Yes, do you believe that it has been 6 weeks since we started that?
They look taller than 6 weeks.
Don't they? You're growing like nuts.
Feed me, Seymour.
Yeah,
they're
right?
real big. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Why don't we do that first?
Okay.
And then we'll come back and talk a little bit about gratitude, all right? So, I guess we got to go into the bathroom to do this, a.k.a. greenhouse.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Okay. Hey guys, how are you? Oh, so it has been 3 weeks since our last check-in. Actually, 3 weeks and 2 days, bringing our total elapsed time to 6 weeks. Oh, yeah. And here is our first potatoes. Yes, very nice. Gosh, they're so big. They're all up to the level of the top of the pot here. We'll talk about that in a second. And one thing I wanted to show you, for my taste, these are a little leggy. Now, what I mean by leggy is that they're like way tall, right? And the leaves are not quite so big. So, I myself, I learned something during this. Well, I remembered not to forget something, if that makes sense. So what I found out is that since we're doing container potatoes, I've been growing them inside and I've been using artificial light. I've been using a grow light and I didn't have the light close enough to it. And I'll show you that in a little bit later. So when I figured that out, I made it a lot closer. And as you can see, the leaves are getting bigger because the light source is getting bigger. So my advice, if you're growing your container potatoes inside and using artificial light, is to do like you would with any other seedling or anything that you're growing with artificial light. The light needs to be very, very close and raised as they're growing. But we'll talk about that in a second. Now, since they are a little leggy, okay, one remedy for that, or one thing that will help, is you can take these new shoots here and cut it as close to one set of the leaves as possible, like so. And that'll just help it to bush out a little bit more at the bottom, okay? And that's, you know, something that you can do pretty much with any plant. Pretty much any plant. So now our second set of potatoes are right here, and these are our new potatoes. And as you can see by the look of them, I had the artificial light just right for these. I had them very close, and then I raised the light up. For example, this is one of the lights that I use. It's like this, okay? And when I say close, I mean close, just like that. And as they grow, we just raise it as they grow, like that, you know? Artificial light is very funny when it comes to grow lights. The strength of them, they're really not strong, even if you have a very strong grow light, okay? So I would read up on the type of light that you have and just make your adjustments accordingly, okay? So these were the potatoes that we started about a month after our first ones, and they're doing very, very well. Now, like I said before, as your potatoes grow, we want to mound our soil up around them until we get all the way to the top of the pot. Now, that just ensures, it gives it more space to grow, okay? And that we would have larger and more, actually, potatoes in our container. Now I have my soil ready to go, and we'll show you how we did that, because I don't think we did that yet. And it's as easy as just doing this and mounding them up all around your stems. And yes, you're covering the leaves there too, and that is perfectly fine. Okay. Go just like that. All right, and give it a little pat down there, like so. Okay. And then we're going to give them a nice drink of water. Now, at this point in the growth cycle of our container potatoes, you want to make sure that you give them enough water. They need a lot of water to form the potatoes, okay? But in the same respect, you don't want the roots to just be sitting in water as well. So as you remember, we do have drainage holes in the bottom, and I water it until water comes out the bottom. You know, and then I put my finger in as far down as I can go, and that will tell me how dry my soil is. If it's dry down there, then I water them again, all right? So at this point, just show them some more love, you know, proper light, proper water, and you're good to go. Now, also at this point, you may want to consider fertilizing, okay? So I have just an all-purpose Miracle-Gro fertilizer. You can get organic, you can get any type of fertilizer you want, and you're going to want to do a diluted solution of fertilizer, and you're going to want to do that about once every 4 weeks when you water it, okay? It'll help, definitely help, have more abundance, you know, it'll be really, really good for your plants, but I think they look pretty healthy, don't you think? I'm very happy. So now my next step is, these babies are going to be moving outside real soon. Oh, yeah, like literally 1 week away is our last targeted frost date. So after that date, I will bring them outside, and they'll get plenty of sunshine out there. So I guess that's it for our latest update of our container potatoes. And I'll see you next time. Let's see, we'll check in, how about another 3 weeks? I think that sounds good. I'll see you then, okay?
Potato.
Potato. You say potato.
I'm excited. I like potatoes.
Yes, I do. I'm excited to, when we are going to be able to eat our own grown potatoes.
Harvest them. Now, how big are we going to let these get? How big
Well,
do they get?
They'll get as big as we let the containers. Potatoes are smaller.
Mhm.
Of course, they're not going to be huge because they're confined by the container.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see when it happens. This
We'll
is
see.
a work in progress.
We shall.
We'll have a video at the very end from start to finish. It'll be really
Giant
cool.
potatoes.
Yeah, really cool.
Size of a football.
So anyway,
So-
let's get on to our subject.
So talking about gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude is a well, okay, let's break the fourth wall a little bit here. Gratitude is a good tool to combat self-pity and madness to some degree. Now, I had a maddening couple of days. Thank you for those of you who are understanding about me not posting up a video yesterday. I put it on the community board and there was a lot of like, oh god, I was waiting for you guys to take a break. You know?
Yeah.
There was a couple of those like, don't worry about it, no big deal, and that was reassuring because I was already kicking myself for not doing a video too. So yesterday, got up, felt like garbage. I just may have given myself food poisoning. Just may. Which is why Mark doesn't eat my food, probably. And that's the last time he ever will. So I woke up, I was very ill. See, poltergeist.
See,
that
we
happened
have
today too.
Strange things happening in this house.
Even the spirit
Let's
world
see.
is trying to get off my ass. So
Okay, it's back on.
it's back on.
It's so strange, these things. We'll tell you about that later.
So I'm not feeling it. And my mood's starting to drop. And mind you, when I get a stomach virus, I got sick and it was like nothing I ate the night before went away. Which means the meds came up too, probably. So
I didn't think of that.
yeah, when the meds come up, everything goes. It's like a slot machine. Anything in the world could come out of my mouth. So I try to like get through the day. I'm neurotic as all hell. My thoughts are racing. I can't calm down. I can't sit still. So Mark comes home
I do. I come home
after his double day.
after my double day. Well, it was. Yeah, I didn't get home till late. Very late last
and
night.
I've been texting
Almost
him during
9.
the day, letting him know how things were panning out.
Yeah,
pretty
we were in
much.
contact
During the day.
We were.
And so I made a short list of my distorted thoughts. Just a little list. And I read them off to you when you got home.
Yeah, you did.
I said, so let's
See.
reality.
We're starting on page 187. Okay.
Yeah, line B, paragraph 1, verse 2. Distorted thoughts. Okay, first of all, I overslept a little bit. I work from home and I overslept by like maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, and I was like, they're gonna know. They're gonna fire me. They have a, what is there, a chip in the vaccine? Like, what do I think they're gonna, how would they know? And even if they did. I gave myself food poisoning. These are all my distorted, certain thoughts that are driving me nuts. That's why Mark doesn't eat my food, because he secretly thinks I'm incompetent in the kitchen. The cornbread I made was hard to swallow, and I had dry mouth. Of course, I actually have esophageal cancer. That's what's actually happening. My fingers twitched a little bit, probably from the dehydration, from the massive amount of vomiting I did when I gave myself food poisoning. Not dehydration. Tardive dyskinesia. That's what's happening, okay? My jaw cracked when I was throwing up. This side! Remarkably, today it hurts a lot less after having gone to the dentist, and they shaved off that piece of it. But yesterday I was convinced my head was going to pop open like a Pez dispenser. Just all the way back. All the way back. Because if it was going to happen to anyone, it would be me. Because I'm having the worst day ever, and nobody is having a worse day than me.
Yeah.
Nobody is having a worse day than me, okay? Let's see. What a waste of time and energy. Go to the dentist because it was probably just my jaw being broken. It took me a while to get started to go to the bathroom. Number one. So prostate cancer is what's really causing that. So I've given myself 4 forms of cancer by noon. Let's see. I thought I saw a shadow. Mark wasn't here to double check it. Then today I was in the middle of a Teams meeting. I had work and the TV in the bedroom turned on by itself. This is not actually distorted thoughts. This actually happened. This actually happened.
That has. Yeah, I know.
I only know because it kicked me off the meeting I was in because it was sucking up bandwidth or something. So Mark wasn't here to double check with. Usually I can do reality testing with Mark. I'm like, Mark, did you hear that? Mark, did you see that? And he reassures me that I'm sane. Well, there was no one here to do that with. So I can't be sure, especially if I'm treading thin ice with not feeling so well. Oh, and terrible things are on deck. Just wait. You won't have any.
Brewing, yes.
You won't have any support because people are going to find out what kind of person you really are.
Yeah.
Because if you really knew me, you wouldn't like me. I'm too cluttered to film, but there's no good reason I can't really film. It's such a lazy job to do anyway. I say it is all the time, and I'm too lazy to do even that. What a waste of space and what a hypocrite. Oh, and don't forget to do your taxes, for God's sake, and do Mark's too. And make sure you browse for a replacement engagement ring, because the one you bought, Mark, is too chunky, or else he'd wear it.
Yeah, he hates it.
So that was the list of things that I was dealing with yesterday.
All before 12.
All before 12. And some of them while I'm contemplating over the toilet. And I'm believing these things are true. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not working on facts right now. Facts are real. Facts are reassuring. They're good. But when I'm not thinking clearly, the feelings feel true. So all of a sudden, I don't know, I start Googling, like, new jobs, something to do, where might we move, because that'll fix everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we move, my brain comes with us.
I
It'll
know
come
what you're
with.
saying. I do.
So after I've had the worst day ever, I try to think, oh God, in the 12-step circles, they would always do this. I don't run in those circles, but they had a few good ideas. And one of them, they do it in rehab too, is to make a gratitude list.
Yeah.
Now, at first mention of this, you may be tempted to punch someone in the throat.
Yeah.
Because usually the timing of people suggesting this is really bad.
Yeah.
Usually you're in a full-on freak-out meltdown and someone says, well, what are you grateful for?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bitch, you need to step back 2-3 paces because I'm about to break your nose wide open.
Yeah. Very true.
But in a calm environment that's a little more settled, it's not bad. Because as I'm going down this list, all of these are about me. Me. I'm not thinking about anybody else other than myself. And granted, wasn't really feeling well yesterday. But how was your day? I didn't think at all about how you were doing yesterday. You're like my other half. And it was like, I'm sure Mark's day was fine. Doesn't he want to hear about mine? Mm-hmm. So as soon as you come in the door, I start talking about me. So thinking about how is somebody else doing.
Now, I was prepared for this when I got home because
we've done it before.
Well, no, it's part of our contingency plan. It's part of what we have in place, when things happen like this.
Yeah.
To make myself available, like genuinely available.
Yeah.
And I also got a little in my head when we were talking last night, just to relate to you, because you were, telling me these things, and I was saying, oh, yes, I felt that way. For me, it happens like this, da-da-da-da-da. So then I start playing it in my mind. I just turned that whole thing out and made it around me. My intention was to, relate and say, I understand because this, da-da-da. I made it all about me, da-da-da-da-da-da, so I can do the same thing, and But that's part of what we do. We have things in place that we hopefully can work through when crisis like this arrives.
Well, I had come to an action by the end of doing all this, by the time you came home. Having looked at this long list that took a full page, I decided to reach out to our old couples therapist. And right at the beginning of COVID, I had scheduled individual therapy, and then everything shut down, and I canceled the first appointment because it was COVID. We couldn't do anything. At the beginning, it seemed like the air was poisonous if you walked outside. Yeah. So I had canceled it and never pursued it again. Well, now I'm much more comfortable with Zoom and Teams and phone services because that's how I get my psych services. Yeah. So I reached out to her today, and we'll see if I get my appointment set up.
No, you will.
Because we were talking about this too. I'm, especially on the term of gratitude, I'm glad to have you here. You're my soundboard. You're my right arm. But it's unreasonable to expect you to be my priest, my brother, my lover, my savior, my soundboard, my therapist, my everything. Yes. You would be if I asked you. Yeah. But that's a lot of stuff to ask somebody.
Yeah, and I think, in a relationship, each person can be those things. But but they shouldn't be the only of those things, if that makes sense.
I can bring a better version of myself to the relationship if I have another space to work out some of the problems I have.
Absolutely.
So I think
that was an action step. Was a very positive, good action step.
Yeah. Yes. And then, what did I have gratitude for? Well, I felt safe enough to bring it up. Yep. I couldn't bring this up with the other exes. They would have been like, either let's go for a drink or get out. Probably. Yeah. Or they would have called, there'd be police at the door. You feeling all right? Mm-hmm. You feeling okay? So that would have been different. Grateful I have a job to complain about. Mm-hmm. This is a terrible time to be out of work, and I'm going on about my work and how it's hard, it's this, it's that. Yeah. I got a stomach bug, which I might have given to myself. 500,000 people died this year. Yeah. Of something they didn't give to themselves. Right. So,
it's very true.
I try to put a spin on it like, I'm no better, no worse. My trials and tribulations are no harder, no easier than anybody else's. Mm-hmm. That just everyone's got something. Everyone has things to deal with, and some days they're easier, and some days they're harder. Right. And yesterday was just one of my harder days. Yeah. I'm allowed,
Yeah.
I'm not allowed 2 months of it, but I'm allowed,
Yeah.
a day of it. And boy, did we have a day of it.
Yeah. But I like what you said about gratitude. Gratitude combats
Self-centeredness.
self-pity. So,
Yeah.
those things. I have found that expressing my gratitude, and I do mine. I've mentioned this before. Probably everybody who sees me driving to work thinks I'm nuts.
Thinks they're on TikTok.
Yeah, because I'm talking to myself, but I'm actually praying, and one of the main components of what I do every day on my way to work is say what I'm grateful for. I bring it front and forward and say, these are the things I'm grateful for. Yeah. Now, each one of those things may have little issues within them that aren't perfect. What is perfect, Yeah. But like you said, I didn't feel well today. Well, somebody else may have passed away today. But it's very important not to dwell on that too much either, because then you can experience guilt.
Yeah.
For expressing that you didn't feel that well that day, but someone else had passed away. Who do you think you are? Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so insidious.
It is. It snowballs on it.
It does. It does.
It's a tricky one, which is why I want a pro on my side to help.
Absolutely.
To help iron some of it
but
out.
I do feel...
Don't worry, you might come too.
I do feel that gratitude is a very good thing to kind of halt those things, And
it's a good thing to put in writing. I know it's old school.
It is.
But it's a good thing to put in writing. A list of 3 things. Don't go crazy.
Yeah.
3 things. If I have a pillow, is it soft? Did I eat something today?
Yeah.
Did I talk to someone other than myself today? Did I leave the house more than once today? Some days, small accomplishments are a big deal.
Absolutely.
Are a very big deal.
I used to feel funny saying every day, one of the components of when I say in my gratitude list is, I am thankful for medication to take, food to wear, or food to eat and clothes to wear, and the ability to eat and see and walk. And at the beginning, I felt kind of silly for saying those things, but those are the things that I take for granted. And it only took me getting sick.
Yeah.
And those things being put in jeopardy to realize, be grateful for those things. Absolutely. And it kind of put that, stifled it a little bit, so to speak, Yeah. But gratitude is a great almost remedy for a lot of things.
It is. And my luxury problems, they call them first world problems.
Yeah.
It puts a lot of them into perspective.
It does.
It's like, my food is late. Where's the Uber driver?
Yeah. Do you believe
it's not like
10 minutes late?
It's not like my kidney is late. It's my Uber driver.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal. Getting disproportionately upset over things that are not a big deal. Losing my cool. Having the attitude of gratitude of it's cool. Yeah. Everything's happening the way it's supposed to happen. I can jump into
present.
Yes, let's just bring it on down here. Let's just keep it simple. Just write what's in front of me and let me just deal with this.
Yeah.
Not that I can't have long-term goals or long-term plans.
Yeah.
But I can't see 5 years, ahead. Maybe this is why wedding planning is hard.
Maybe. It could be.
We're talking about how far out is this? I'm like, I'm living in the day. We'll figure it out later.
Right? Yes. Oh, yeah, that's a great excuse
that is
for procrastination,
for putting off the wedding. I'm living in the day. I don't know.
Yeah
I don't know.
Very true. No, but being present, being mindful, that's another important factor. It is. I have to bring myself back to reality a lot. And but I've always said, and it took me a very, very long time to learn how to combat negativity with positivity. And really at the I'm telling you, was very upset about something or whatever, negative, upset, negative. And I would have to think of just, Oscar is so soft. That's a positive thing.
Yeah.
And just that in itself helps with the negativity. But it took a long time to be able to do that, kind of automatically.
It's an exercise. It's literally
it is
an exercise.
It is. But gratitude is one of those tools that is positive and can do that in any given situation.
Yeah, any given situation.
It is.
So I've been practicing that. I will continue to practice.
I have been too.
It's helpful. It's
It's
very
helpful. And it's a journey. It's not something, and I totally relate with what you said. Someone says, "Oh yeah, gratitude." They're going to talk about
Another gratitude. When you're in
Gratitude.
rehab, you have a gratitude meeting about every 20 minutes.
Yeah,
If you've been to treatment, you understand.
yeah, you do.
If you haven't been, imagine talking about gratitude. Like, you run out of things to be grateful for, and that's not like to smash it, but like you talk about it all day.
Right.
You know.
And it's trying to get it into your head to become an automatic response.
Yeah, to not be selfish, to think of others, you know.
That's our timer.
That's the timer. That means we need you. Shut up.
Yeah, I like the timer thing because I think we got a lot done. How do we stop at that?
I don't know. We only
Stop.
said it.
There we
every
go.
video.
Oh, that's good.
So bottom line for me is person of inherent goodness, dignity, and worth. I am, you are, even though we have our faults and our setbacks, we're decent people. We have some issues.
Remember our pinky promise from Monday.
Mhm.
Those of you who
Yeah.
know. Mondays with Mark. We have a little thing going with a pinky promise.
Oh, I hang out in the hall when Mondays with Mark happens. I'm not in the club, so I'm not in with that one.
You're always in the club.
Well, grateful for y'all
We
for
are.
showing up. Thank you for listening. If you've
Absolutely.
listened this far, and even if you didn't, I can still see that there was a view, which I'll appreciate.
Yeah.
So thank y'all for watching. Get your potatoes together.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
It's not too late.
It's not too late. No.
It's not too late. Not too late. And if you get them together, we'll cook them in every appliance we have. Let's see. We have a pressure cooker. We have a caloric. We have an air fryer. We have an oven. We have a stovetop.
And we're grateful for all of them.
Oh God, we could make potatoes for an audience of like 80
Yeah, we could.
with all the stuff we have in the house. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So thank you for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell on your way out so you get the alerts when we go live and when we go live and when we have new videos coming out. You can follow us on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Twitter at SmokeySteveA. Our email address and our contact info is listed below as well. Thank you again, and I will catch up with you tomorrow
Oh, yeah.
for One Miss Foodie Beauty.
Yes, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, she's playing Ike and Tina Turner with some dude. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right. I know. It'll be fun. It'll be fun and interesting. We'll just put it like
It'll be
that.
something.
I'll be in class all day, but
Gives
I
me-
hope to make an appearance. We'll see.
Gives
We'll
me
see.
gratitude to watch.
Yes, thank you everybody for watching. Happy Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. We are grateful for you today, all right? Stay safe, stay well, but above all else, stay positive, all right? We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Ciao!